What is happening? J Gaming Dude here, and let's talk about the Xbox Series S and also just Xbox in general, because what's been happening this week, specifically in gaming, is that it seems like Xbox is either lacking communication with some of the indies that are trying to release games onto their platform, or that there's something else going on. And so what I'm going to be doing is talking to you about the history a little bit of what's been happening with the Xbox Series S. Albeit it's a short history because nothing has truly been confirmed, so I do want to absolutely point that out, that everything I'm about to say has not been 100% confirmed, but if it ever was, or if Xbox did confirm anything, it would be an incredibly bad look on their part, and there's no way in hell that any company would talk badly about their own product. So let's just jump right on into it. So we've got this Game Radar article talking about developers saying how Xbox Series S could hold back multi-platform games, saying that minimum specs are going to matter. The realities of the Series S remain to be seen, and this was an article published 12th of September 2020. Now, moving on from that, we now have in 2022, Rocksteady devs calling Xbox Series S a potato while defending Gotham Knights running at 30 FPS. And so the idea behind this article is pretty much from WCCF Tech by Alessio. The idea behind it is that because the game needs to run across all platforms equally, they have to keep to the minimum, like the lowest possible denominator, and in this case it's seen to be as the Series S. So if the Series S is not able to run it, then it's better not to be able to make a better product on any other platform, even though other platforms could probably handle running games at a higher frame rate than 30 FPS. That then brings us to something along the lines of Baldur's Gate 3. So Baldur's Gate 3 released on PS5, no worries. Released on PC, also no worries. All feature complete and each and every thing else in between. However, what ended up happening with Xbox is that it got an incredibly delayed release, and the reason for that is because Xbox was like, you need feature parity across both platforms in order to be able to release a game on Xbox. So say for example, if you release Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox Series X, it needs to run the same as Xbox Series S. However, this was seen as a policy on the part of Xbox, but then Xbox was more than willing to break their own policy for one of the biggest releases of 2023. And so so it did eventually come to Xbox. However, Xbox Series S players could not play Baldur's Gate 3 with local split screen. But Series X could do just that. And so I thought that was kind of like a fascinating thing. Larian and Xbox still hope to add split screen gameplay to Series S version of Baldur's Gate 3. However, that has still, I'm not too sure if it's actually been implemented, so that's just something to look forward to. But this was just definitely an article that was a product of its time. Then we have something like this week where we got news about Dune Awakening, saying that Dune Awakening to the Xbox Series S will be a challenge according to the Funcom Chief Product Officer. It's one of the reasons we're coming out on PC first. Of all the big coming MMOs coming up in the near future, Dune Awakening appears to be one of the most graphically intensive, in addition with an emphasis on server meshing, as well as vast open deserts hosting vast PvP battles. It's set up to be a real looker. This is great news for those of us with powerful rigs, but it also means a lot of time is going to be going into making sure that the game works on hardware of various levels of power. Enter the Xbox Series S. While the game is still set to release alongside PS5 and PC, and that is a challenge according to the Chief Product Officer Scott Jr. So he's just straight up come out and said, hey, it's going to be difficult for us to release Dune Awakening day and date with PS5 and PC on the Xbox Series S effectively. And I thought that that was actually quite interesting that that was being mentioned. Another game on that list potentially might be affected by potential hardware is Black Myth Wukong. Because while the game does have some issues on PS5, if there's issues on PS5, how viable is it on Series S? Now, there have been rumors suggested that Sony has a potential exclusivity deal with the developers or the Chinese developers Game Science. However, nothing official has been reported on it. No official statement has been made. So everything is just completely up in the air in terms of where things are going. And that's kind of why I said from the very beginning, hey, everything that I'm going to be saying in this video, none of it is truly substantiated, but also that if it was, it would ordinarily be a bad look. But regardless, for Xbox, it's still a bad look, whether or not Sony had an exclusivity deal or not, or the fact that, hey, the game just hasn't come out and the only people that truly will know are the heads of the developers at Game Science. And then going into things, we also now have another game that we're talking about that had a discussion this week called Enotria, which was the latest game to hit a mysterious snag with its Xbox launch. And this is kind of what I was talking about when I said, hey, is it because of the Xbox Series S hardware that, there needs to be parity across both Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X, or is there something else going on? The fact of the matter is that they've come out and said that they don't actually have any sort of exclusivity deal, and the fact that they're trying to reach out, or the developers of this game, Enotria, are trying to reach out to Microsoft/Xbox, but no one is returning their calls. And ultimately, their calls were answered, but that only happened because of the community reaching out to Xbox, I feel like, on their behalf. But it says here on this tweet, we'll just give it a second to load. We believe that Xbox is blessed with a huge gaming community, and we would love to release Enotria on your platform as fast as possible, as we spent a lot of money and resources to make it happen. But this task is nearly impossible, with Microsoft taking months to reply to us when we have the game ready for submission. If you'd like to help, please let Xbox know about our situation. If we had a dedicated Xbox account manager help us out, this issue would not exist. Thank you so much. And then they further said, we understand how disappointing this is to the Xbox community. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts and hard work of our dedicated team, we've encountered challenges that have delayed our release on the Xbox platform. We want to emphasize that this is not a decision we've made lightly. Actually, I don't know if they ever ended up responding, but the game Hack will not be coming to Xbox, for example, as well. So let's just kind of read this tweet as well. Thank you very much for your help and attention. However, during the process of getting our game on Xbox, we've encountered numerous obstacles. What seemed like a simple procedure turned into a nightmare due to many bugs in the Microsoft Partner Center, preventing us from successfully completing account registration. Even Microsoft support system had bugs, making it impossible to initiate inquiries about our issues. This is simply unbelievable for developers. We informed ID at Xbox about our predicament, but they were powerless to help, as it apparently falls outside of their scope of responsibility and seems to be a Microsoft issue. In reality, porting the Xbox version of our game would have taken less than 2 weeks, but we spent over 14 months trying to apply for game publication and complete Microsoft Partner Identity registration. This experience has been terrible because we feel the enthusiasm from the Xbox community players, yet we struggle to resolve the problems at hand. Although we very much want to share Hack's adventure story with more players, our development funds are extremely tight and we can't afford to wait any longer. As a result, we've ultimately decided to abandon the Xbox platform release. We deeply regret this outcome, but we've truly done our best. To be honest, this is the first time we started developing games that we felt such enthusiastic support from players. This has convinced us that the Xbox community must be truly amazing. We love it. We're incredibly grateful to all the Xbox players who have offered support and assistance. Yeah, so ultimately, Xbox is now missing out on another game in the form of Hack, which is a Metroidvania that was made by Bling Game, which was announced in social media. And then of course this article on Inverse also touches on Black Myth Wukong as well. Baldur's Gate 3, which I was talking about earlier, I'm actually quite surprised. So yeah, that this article actually does touch on a good number of things. So yeah, this Inverse article by Robin B really does, talk about a decent amount of what I've been mentioning, and it really does kind of make me wonder, out of everything that's going on here, what on earth is going on with Xbox? Now, is it fair to say that it's completely on the Xbox Series S? Maybe. Is it partly to do with Xbox and their lack of communication? Also probably, but only time will tell if this sort of thing continues to happen. But I don't think moving forward in future Xbox generations we are going to see a Series S ever again, a lower powered version at a cheaper price point, because it feels like it might be hurting development a tad bit more than expected. But I am curious to hear what everyone has to say about this, so let me know about it in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 300 subs by the end of the year, and with all of that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.